What's up, folks? I'm gonna have this conversation with you guys while I wash my baby up. So I may come in and out of frame a couple times or a few times, but it'll only be for a second. Got my knee pads on. So I want to have a quick conversation with you guys, real quick. Do you guys prefer to own a house or do you prefer to rent? Because this question it's been all over YouTube. People saying they prefer to rent, some people saying they prefer to buy. And guys, it's just an opinion. You know what I mean? I'm going to state my opinion, and I just want to know how you guys feel about it. And because no answer is the wrong answer. No answer is wrong. No answer is wrong. I just want to know how you guys feel about it. So myself, I prefer to rent. I'm sorry. I prefer to own. I just feel like renting is throwing money down the drain. That's just my opinion. You know, I don't like having to deal with a landlord. I want to be able to make my own decisions in my home, be able to do what I please in my home without no interruptions. Me personally, I prefer to own. Then you got some people that say, well, you never really own your home because of the taxes, right? Guys, listen. Till the day we die, we're gonna have to pay either rent or real estate taxes. So to me, that's a moot point. It's a waste of time. To me, it's a waste of time even discussing that, because you're going to have to pay real estate taxes no matter what, or you're gonna have to pay rent no matter what. So that's the way I personally feel about it. That's how I personally feel about it. And what brought this up also is that I just got my real estate tax bill for 2026, and my real estate taxes actually went down a couple $100. And it's kind of weird because my buddy who lives down the street, his taxes went up a couple $100. But he also has a nice bigger corner lot. He has the corner lot, and it's a bigger lot. So his taxes went up a couple $100. So my real estate taxes, guys, are $2,600 a year. $2,600 a year. I'm in the state of Indiana, right? So once I pay my house off, that's probably, say I pay the house off in the next 2 or 3 years. So I'm probably going to be paying, let's just say if I'm paying $2,800, let's just say if it's up to $2,800 a year. $2,800 a year versus a nice apartment right now in Indiana where I live will probably be about $1,400 to $1,500 a month. So you're talking about $18,000 a year versus $2,800 a year. I'm going to take the $2,800. Yeah, and I know there's going to be expenses here and there. I know all that, guys. I know all of that. I'm going to have to get something fixed. I know this. But still, I'd rather rent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'd rather own. I'd rather own. That's the camp I fall into. I'd rather own because I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it and don't have to worry about a landlord. So, also, I lost the train of thought. Shit. Oh, when people complain about cost of living, right? And the cost of living here, cost of living there. Let me tell you something, guys. When I first left Michigan in 2001, I was leaving for a promotion. I was working for one of the biggest Arby's restaurant franchisee in the United States, right? And I wanted a promotion, and I didn't care if I had to relocate. So I got promoted in 2001, right, with that company. And I was moving to Crystal Lake, Illinois. Some of you guys just around the Illinois area or Chicago area, you probably heard of Crystal Lake, Illinois. It was up by McHenry County, by Grays Lake, Round Lake Beach, that area up by Great America, and that area, Waukegan. I was like an hour from those areas when I was in Crystal Lake, Illinois. So when I got promoted, they made me the job offer, right, the initial salary. So I said, you know what? I said, now I'm going outside Chicago, so I know the cost of living is a little higher. So if I deem the cost of living a little bit higher from what you're paying me, we're gonna have to come back to the negotiating table. I'm not gonna take the job offer. So, and that's exactly what happened. Looking at the cost of living, it was much higher, even outside in the suburbs of Chicago. Because I lived like an hour from, like, it was like 30 minutes from Arlington Heights and Des Plaines and all that. And I was like, I went back to the negotiating table and I actually showed them how much the apartment was going to be that I was going to be renting versus where I was at currently in Michigan. It was like double the price. So they upped my salary. But here's the deal, guys. I had the opportunity to say no. I could have said, no, I don't want that promotion. I'm going to turn it down because the cost of living is too high. So I think individuals in high cost of living areas, they have a choice whether to be there or not. We have a choice. And if you choose to stay in a high cost of living area, that's your choice. That is your choice. And you have that right. And you have the right to stay there. But if you decide to stay there, don't complain about it. Don't complain about it if you decide to stay in that area. Don't complain about it. You chose to stay in that area. So don't complain about it. You know, because one thing I always like about what Dave Ramsey always says, you don't get a pass on math. If you can't afford it, you cannot afford it. So like I said, we're going to always have real estate taxes. We're going to always have to pay rent. So what do you rather do? You rather pay rent the rest of your life, or do you rather buy the rest of your life? And like I said, guys, the choice is yours. Nobody is wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not wrong. I just prefer to buy. And I told my son, if something ever happens to me, I told him, don't sell my house. I want to keep it in the family, because you never know who may need somewhere to live. The real estate taxes are so cheap. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some money left over in one of my accounts to where he can continue to pay the real estate taxes and just rent this sucker out. But that's how I feel about it, you know. We got choices. We got choices. I just think rent, me personally, I just think, you know, when you're building no equity and things of that nature, to me, my opinion, I think you're just throwing money down the drain. Because I don't care if I'm 80, I'm going to have to pay rent or real estate taxes. So I think it's a moot point trying to fight that argument. I don't even bring it up. I don't talk about it because I can't do nothing about real estate taxes but pay them. So guys, just want to have a quick conversation. I'm finished washing my baby up. You guys have a great evening. This is Frank. I'm out of here.